Hey folks, I'm Deus and welcome to my Black Desert Sorcerer's Guide for Beginners. Before I continue, please know that some of the skill names could be different on the European and North American servers. This is due to the fact that at the moment I am playing on the Russian server with fan-made, possibly Google translated English language patch. In Black Desert you have a lot of skills, and you can actually have all of them, but that can't happen overnight. This will take time, sweat and a lot of grind. When you're level 50, you will have around 500 skill points, and such amount is not enough to level everything. This is why you have to carefully consider which skills to choose. In this guide, I will explain in details which skills to prioritize for leveling and PvP. When you're going through the prologue of the game, you will automatically learn several skills. Almost all of them are simple basic moves, which will become essential part of your gameplay later on. Now I will start with the important skills, which are required for easy progression from level 1 to 50. First, we start with Claws of Darkness. This is your most important skill for leveling, and it is also one of the most powerful skills in the Sorcerer's skill tree. To get it, all you need to do is finish the prologue. The skill itself does several fast attacks which do massive frontal AoE damage. In order to activate it, you need to hold S plus left mouse button, or you could simply put it on your skill bar and use it from there. I advise you to focus leveling this skill to maximum because you are gonna use it quite often. On level 11, you will be able to pick the second most important skill for leveling, Dark Wave. This skill does massive frontal cannon attacks with huge damage output. To activate it, you need to hold S plus right mouse button and click left mouse button. Like the previous skill, Claws of Darkness, this one should be also maxed out. Next comes the ability called Nightcrawl, which is also taken on level 11. This is the skill which allows you to teleport in every direction. Don't miss it, and also don't forget to level the passives of this skill because they are super important. Another useful ability that you receive at the start of the game is Mark of the Shadow. This skill is mostly used for pulling big groups of monsters or simply stealing them from other players. The skill inflicts slow and also has small lifesteal effect. In order to use it, you need to hold Shift plus right mouse button. Considering the low damage output of this skill, I recommend to keep it just rank 1 until you have enough skill points to max out everything. Next in line comes the skill called Dark Fragments. This skill is a 20 seconds buff which increases the attack power of the caster and all nearby allies, and as bonus it also gives back mana. In order to use it, you need to have 10, 20 or 30 fragments depending on the level of the skill. On rank 1 it gives 8 attack power, on rank 2 18 and on rank 3 30. Dark Fragments have two passives, called Spirit Absorption 1 and Spirit Absorption 2. The first restores fragments over time, and the second increases the fragments gained by attacking enemies. I forgot to mention that in order to gain fragments, you must either attack enemies or use the skill called Dark Trait, which allows you to sacrifice portion of your HP for Dark Fragments. The next sorcerer skill is a self buff called Shield of Darkness. This skill on last rank increases the caster's defense power by 13 points. To activate it, you need to use the combination of buttons Shift plus Q, or you can slot it on your skill bar and use it from there. At level 16, you will be able to pick another very important ability in the Sorcerer's skill tree. I'm talking about the skill called Rushing Crow. This skill is your frontal offensive teleport, which does moderate damage, plus it reduces the enemy's magical defense and also can inflict knockdown. And finally, the last skill which you're gonna need for easy leveling and also for PvP is called Dark Fragments Explosion. This ability is your strongest damage skill. It does from 1 to 3 frontal explosions depending on how many dark fragments you have. The skill itself have 100% chance to do critical damage, and in order to use it you need to slot it on your skill bar and have 10, 20 or 30 dark fragments. So far I spoke about for all the important PvE skills, but please have in mind that many of them are also top priority skills for PvP. With that being said, now I will move on to the remaining important PvP skills. The first one is called Symbol of Pain. This skill is basically your ranged stun. On the last rank, Symbol of Pain inflicts 3 seconds stun on maximum of 7 targets and also 27 seconds dot, which does 30 damage every 3 seconds. The skill can be used either from the skill bar or with the combination of S plus C. The next skill in line is called Shadow Eruption. This skill does frontal AoE attack which inflicts high damage and floating. The last level of Shadow Eruption allows you to do immediate second attack which inflicts 100% critical damage and, more importantly, AoE knockdown. To activate it, you need to hold Shift and press F, and after the first skill animation, immediately press left mouse button to execute the second hit. Next is the Midnight Stinger. This is a frontal short range teleport skill which does moderate damage, and also on activation gives 18% critical hit chance to the caster. On the last rank, this skill gives 40% critical hit chance. For this skill, I recommend to keep it rank 1 until you max out all the other important skills. After Midnight Stinger, the next skill I'm gonna talk about is called Darkness Released. This skill's main use is for knocking down enemy targets. Considering it doesn't do much damage, I would advise you to leave it rank 1 until you max out the rest of your skills. Another important PvP skill is Dark Flame and his sub-skill Extreme Dark Flame. This skill can be used as direct combo from Claws of Darkness. To activate it, you must hold S plus left mouse button and press right mouse button. The follow-up extra hit, Extreme Dark Flame, can be used immediately after the Dark Flame, simply by pressing left plus right mouse buttons. And I forgot to mention that Dark Flame is a very high damage skill which inflicts knockdown on the last hit, and if the extra hit is activated, the enemy target receives burn damage every 3 seconds for 36 seconds. Next comes the ability called Abysmal Flame. This skill is one of the few high range skills sorcerers have. To cast it, you need to hold left and right mouse buttons, and to fire, simply release one or both of them. The skill is a charging ability which does fairly good amount of damage, and also on hits it returns small portion of your HP bar. On level 20 you will be able to learn probably the most important PvP skill that sorcerers have, Dream of Doom. This skill can hit maximum of 10 targets and inflicts knockdown plus high damage. Sadly, Dream of Doom is not without weaknesses. The skill has 2.5 casting time. The good thing is, there is a passive called Ultimate Dream of Doom, which allows you to cast the skill instantly with cooldown of 30 seconds. I must add that Dream of Doom is also one of the 2 skills in the Sorcerer's arsenal which can use Black Spirit energy. When your Black Spirit energy bar is filled on 100%, when you cast the skill, the effect will be significantly increased, meaning Dream of Doom will do more damage on much higher scale. Finally, we are nearing the end of this guide. There is just one more skill which I need to mention, and that is Bloody Calamity. This is the second skill in the Sorcerer's arsenal which uses Black Spirit energy. The skill itself deals quite good damage, inflicts mass slow, and on top of that it does very strong life stealing attack which recovers HP for every enemy hit. Like Dream of Doom, this skill also have cast time, but again there is a way to go around. If you use this skill in combination with Nightcrow, you can cast it immediately. And by the way, this is one of the hidden combos which sorcerers have. There are many more, of course, but I will speak about them some other time. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope this guide will be helpful to those who are just starting the game, and if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to subscribe for more Black Desert online videos.